You're listening to Reality Time on the Champion Sound, BigUpRadio.com. We are honored to have on the phone with us the legendary singer, songwriter, and producer, Sugar.Minott. Sugar.Minott, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Yeah, man, nice for you to have me, man. Live and direct from Kingston, Jamaica, youth promotion, Black Crew, Studno, every time. Big up.
Yeah, man. So, growing up in Kingston, you were inspired by growing up around a dance hall where a lot of the big tunes of the time were playing. What tunes do you think had the biggest influence on you growing up?
Yeah, man, I can't remember that easy, man. There was 3 songs, man. There was First, man, with Dutch Law. Remember that song?
Yeah.
That's Dutch Law. Prince Buster is the icon of all dancehall, man. And I learned all this from these people. These are the first people that introduced me to the dancehall. People like Derrick will sing a song like, I shall not be moved. You know a song like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a song, those songs that inspired me, and there was Roller and Fun, some of the instrumental called Something Special. I never forgot those songs, and there was other songs after that, but those were, the first songs I could remember.
Yeah. And then you went on to, compete in lots of contests, but then in 1969, when you formed the African Brothers, with Derrick, Howard, and Tony Tuff, man, you went on to record with so many producers, Keith Winston, Maritone, Blake, Coxsone, Dodd. What was it like, being exposed to so many different, diverse groups of producers?
Yeah, well, you see, all those times, I was the kind of youth that, you're like a youth selector, taking my lunch money and buying records every day, at school. So I was in tune to all the music that was happening, both from the American side, the Motown side, to the studio one side. So like Tony Tuff was the first person, maybe that played the guitar, so I could sing to the guitar. Man, I always wanted to sing to a guitar. And then we formed a group with Derrick, Eric Buddles, and it was a new experience for me, like getting to be on stage, like working with big producers, like people, some of those people responding as a youth stamp on a block to reach up to the microphone, people like Roller Alfonso, great like the Saba, there's some great musicians that I was just a youth around them, in those days, Tyrone Downey, Chile, all those great musicians, Jackie Jackson, I was even the American guitarist, that Brooks guy came to just for help, he called in Nick. I was just exposed to massive amount of music, very similar as a young youth, Maritone, it was good.
Yeah.
I had a good experience.
Yeah. I also want to ask you a little bit about, later on, you kind of went back and teamed up with Coxsone and Dodd again in Studio One, and then, you came with your, huge tune Vanity and Mr. DC. What impact do you think Studio One had in your career when you started coming up with those big tunes?
Well, Studio One had an impact in my career. I was a selector, and I was playing all the Studio One songs on my sound system, little small sound system in the ghetto, Sound of Silence, and I was playing all the dub wise too for these songs, so I started making up songs for them. So I was well prepared when I went to Studio One, because Studio One was kind of down. All the big artists were gone. There was only Freddie McGregor was there, and Julius Kenda, some Silvertones,
Yeah.
A couple of Bag and Pablo. It was like all the big time was done, and they were trying to make new rhythm that Studio One, Then I went there to Cox and said at my audition that I didn't want to make a new rhythm. I wanted to sing on the old rhythms because I already got songs for them. And he said, oh? And that was the birth of people singing. That was the first artist that did that, sing on the old rhythm, bring back rhythm tracks.
Right.
So, sometimes I'm sorry I did because there's 15 people on one rhythm now. But, I said, look what I said, look what I dug up, man. Because I was the one that started singing, but I said I wanted alchemist.
Yeah.
The first rhythm I had was Heptone's rhythm. A song called Wrongdoers, Lovely Girl. You know, and then I went on to Babandi with him and Going Home, because it was a title track from my album Live Loving.
Yeah.
You know, so it was all, I don't want to sound like this, but I was, you know, I'm not a boastful person. I don't like to say, I did that, you know. There's so many things that's been first and not mentioned, because it's hard to try to praise yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Say, well, I did that, you know, it kind of sounds funny, but I actually single-handedly brought back Studio One, because after that, then came Freddie me. I did a song called Come Down Natty Dread, yeah?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Right? But come now, Natty Dread, come now. Now, Freddie Malula is my friend. He's such a good friend to me. And he was such a great singer at Studio One, but he was singing songs like, you're a sweet child, such a fine child, you know, something like that. And it wasn't happening for him. Mm-hmm. And when we teamed up, because he was an inspiration to me, to Ernest Wilson, you know, they were great inspiration to me. We sing on each other's songs at Studio One. And when I did that song called Now That Day, that's when Freddie went roots. And saying, come now, sister, beg you come right now. And the whole revolution was starting. Johnny Osborne came from Canada. You know, everything started out leading up to Glen Washington, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, after Alton Ellis, Dennis Brown gave it to us. Mm-hmm. Dennis Brown, the Godfather, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And so, you know, you also made another transition, you know, working with great producers. You also became a great producer in your own right, you know, forming the Youth Promotions crew. And, you know, you brought up so many, I mean, the artists, I mean, the list goes on and on. Junior Reed, Yami Bolo, Nitty Gritty. What challenges did you face in becoming...
Junior Reed.
Yeah, we've actually had Yami Bolo on one of our first shows, and he talked so highly of Youth Promotions, giving him...
Yeah, man, that's my son, man.
Yeah.
That's my son, man.
Yeah, he talked so big about, you know, you giving him, you know, that shot. So what were some of the challenges that you faced in working with, you know, these artists and becoming the producer and getting these youth voices heard?
First of all, Youth Promotion, you know, is a non-profit talent organization. I never signed a kid. You know, I never had a contract with no artist yet. You know, we just do it to help the artists to get on his foot and go out there and, you know, whatever. Sometimes it strains me because, you know, I'm spending my money and I'm thinking that these artists are coming back to help the organization, not just me, Sugar Man, but to make youth promotion be an international thing where we have youth promotion in every parish, youth promotion in England, youth promotion in, you know, all over the world. That it don't have to be like Sugar Man, it have to be there. It's the idea, you know, so that youth from the street could go in. Well, and we just don't do music, you know, people with other talents, you know, people turn engineers, people, you know, draftsmen, we help with tuition for people. So it was a challenge to keep so much youth in one yard. You know, most of the youth them don't have nowhere to go. They all sleeping in corners and, you know, playing music overnight, going to the sound system. When we get paid on the sound system, like even if we get $100,000, everybody's gonna get $1 because there's so much people on the truck. So, I mean, like them other people that we carry to the dance is almost the promoter saying, look, I'm paying you to come. I'll come and get my people, you know. So that was the greatest challenge, but there was lots of talent around, music every day, you know. We started the Youth Promotion, Black Roots label. I put on my first hit, my first #1 song for myself. I produced it, River Jordan, you know, and Liquor John came about as a DJ, say 51 Star, middle of a band with Captain Simbad, and then he, you know, transformed to a singer. Tristan Palmer came about with Spliff Tail, you know, Barry Brown came about that I'm Not So Lucky Like Lucky Lucky, and it was a string of hits for kids. We was making massive hits, but we didn't know much about the business, you know, so if other people were collecting the money, we were making the hits, you know, because we were young. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's one of the unfortunate parts
that's the youth promotion part too, but it has developed over the years, you know. We put out the first Ghana Silk record, which was Bimbo on the record anyway. You know, we put out the first Tennessee, you know, we put out the first Tony Tuff album, we put out the first Tristan Palmer album. You know, Barry Brown, he introduced to the crowd. You know, Tony Rebel, he put out a new promotion sound. Junior Reed, we gave him the first hit, Original Foreign Mind. Tenor Style, you know. His whole string of, you know, great talent has come out of youth promotion. You know, went to England, we started the Lovers Rock. Lovers Rock thing over there, you know, with Carl Thompson, all the Vincent Brady, you know, musical youth, Tuff, Dutchy, and there's old history. And we went to Japan, the first sound system ever played in Japan. Youth promotion, bringing the Japanese to know sound system. They never know nothing about sound system before we went there. And now they're so big. They didn't even look at us, you know.
Big people like Micron and all that doing big things,
there's a history there in the book, and when we first played out, they show how to string the sound up in the magazine and all that, and Japanese, a couple months after that, they start making sound systems. It's all history, man, and people kind of now, the dancehall is big, you know, they don't even try to, they don't show no reverence, you know, but, you know, we still do our thing.
Sugar Minott, it's definitely you are the pioneers, and for those of our listeners who may not know your contribution, it's important that they do, because a lot of those artists that you've named came up through your nonprofit, you know, just your attempts to get
labels too, man. Labels too, man. I'm the first artist to do an album for King Jammy's label. You know, I'm the first artist to sing for Penthouse. You know, we started the Powerhouse label job from up there. You know, we started the Exterminator label. We started off that label too. You know, I've done, you know, we recorded for everybody. Tucky Tuggies, you know. Right up, you know. So, you know, like, it's not just a matter of being an artist, but also developing companies and labels, you know, with our songs and our talent first, because we were the one who was selling at the time. You know, and most of these producers, they couldn't produce nothing. They just would spend the money, and we go in and make the songs, you know. We arrange the songs, we play the music, and we put their names on it. So out of all those labels that all these big sizzlers and everybody come out of these labels, Luciana and all this, it's all coming from right there anyway, you know?
So, Sugar Minott, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about the upcoming event on December 25th, Reggae in the Hills. Talk about, you know, how that came to be, and just talk about that event in and of itself.
Okay. Well, I was watching this Motown story one time, and I saw Barry Gotti, you know, he's keeping this party every year for all the singers, and everybody got together with their families, you know, and then, you know, they get to know each other, families and kids, and so I thought of that idea to keep this in the Christmas time, where in the daytime that I could get all the artists could come bring their kids, and they know my kids, and, you know, we know their kids, because we pass on the street, you know, we pass in Freddie McGregor's son, we don't know who he is, you know what I'm saying? So we pass in because, you know, so I decided that we would have this, and then the night that we keep a big show, and we taking it to a place where just way up in the hills, where there's a river, you can camp, you can, you know, there's stars right there. And this is the 9th year we keeping it. You know, we don't get a lot of sponsors because, you know, it's the kind of show we try to keep that there, not too much bling bling. You know, not that we're fighting against it, but, you know, everybody does that anyway. So we're going to bring a show, you know, where there's certain kind of artists you're not seeing for a while. You know, and then we still have a headliner like Sizzler, Capitan, you know, Phantom Motor, those kind of you determined, you know, to keep the thing spicy. They're bringing people like Andrew Touch, you know, and this year we're going to pay a special tribute to Joseph Hill of Culture. You know, and things like that. We got so many artists on the show. Yeah, you know, like Marcy Griffiths, Luciana, Freddie McGregor, you know, Junior Reed, you know, we got my daughter Passion is up there, Phantom Motor, and Joseph, you know, the General Trees, Philip Freed, you know, just Tony Tuff, you know, the Ville, we mixing the Derrick, Lara, and, you know, and the promotions that just come in, you know, it's show, man, you know, like, way up in the hills, nice breeze, no gangster thing, you know.
That sounds like a massive show, and that's going to be on December 25th?
Yeah, man. After all, that's in St. Catherine, 9 miles from Bagua, Kuno Bagua, while you go to Mobile, just turn up right there. And if you come into Stony, just turn down the road. It's right on the main. After all, big play field, you know, we have sound system, we have downbeat going to New York.
Oh, yeah,
we got Jamaica. Yeah, man, you know, we got Guidance Star coming from Japan, you know, and all that. You know, it's great stuff happening.
Yeah, that's a big show. Hey, is there a website, or is there any way that, you know, people that might want to get, because this is an international show.
Reggae.com, you know, they can check it out and see what's happening on there.
Sounds good, man. I would more
and
than...
you can give my number too, you know.
Oh yeah. You want to shout it out?
My number is international. My number is international, 479-0550-876, the area code in Jamaica.
Okay.
Anybody want the information on the show, just call me, and my number is not in silence after that, man. So Sugar Minott direct to the world, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, Sugar Minott, what projects? You working on anything coming out right now? Look forward to it.
I got this album, man. You know, people saying Grammy and all that, but I'm not worried about that so much. But this album is so great. You know, I think I'll call it a New Day, and it's gonna be featuring people like Tuff, the Ital. You know, we got Andrew Dutch in there, we got Palmer up in there, we got Joseph up in there. You know, ranking for a long time, a lot of people. We got some young youth from my crew, you know, with the young youth kind of style of this. So massive album. You know, we got this producer, Roman from England, and he's doing such a fine job, you know, so you should look forward to probably in the new year, because we're trying to get it done for this year, but it's kind of rushy, but that's happening. So the album, the New Day, you know, the title song featured Sugar Minott and Tootsie Birds of the Maytals, you know, Toots such a great person to join up with me in that song. These friends will be in there blowing some horns, and you know, that is such a nice one. We're trying to get maybe one in a long time rapper, like my friend Chris Parker, you know, some conscious kind of talk in there. You know, on one of the songs I got, guitarist one, you know.
So you're really, you're going all the way around with that one.
Yeah, man, this is like a real thing, you know, like songs that people, you know, we're going to have a couple 2 and 3 dancing songs there, you know.
Yeah.
But mainly it's just, you know, straightforward.
And we can look forward to this in the new year?
Yeah, man, New Year release.
All right, sounds good.
Hope to get it out on a major level, epic or one of those labels. Lots of people interested, you know, I won't say nothing yet, you know, but it's like that.
Hey,
featuring great player, Zoot Sills, you know, you got Dwight Pickney in there playing some, you know, all kind of different people featuring on the family thing, you know.
And before I let you go, Sugar Minott, I gotta ask, you know, we're over here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Me and my selector, Curious, we had the good fortune of catching you out at Sierra Nevada World Music Festival when you came in. It was just such a blessed experience to see you tear it up in the dance hall. Oh man, you
brought best place I've been, man. I enjoyed myself so much.
You tore it down, man.
And I thank all the people from up there, man. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Telephone them and keep Reggae alive, man.
Yeah.
You know, I appreciate that, man. I mean, I just appreciate those people so much, and you gotta know this. Especially down the Bay Area, those people have been so good to me over the years, man. And I'm saying I really appreciate it. I've never met no beef down there, no bad vibes, you know, over the years, and I give thanks.
Yeah, we gotta say, man, we definitely appreciate and respect and love you when you come through. Can we expect you anytime soon? I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I feel like some big sound clash, you know.
Yeah.
Big sound clash. Kilimanjaro, Yukon Promotion, gonna be Nigel on Saturday. So anybody's coming in the country, just come up there, Nigel, and, you know, I'm taking Sugar Minott and host of artists, you know, James Mill, all those, you know. All vibe is coming back, you know, in Jamaica, not old. And we don't say oldies, we say goodies.
There you go. Sugar, man, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us. We'll definitely be talking about Reggae in the Hills coming up on December 25th. And I want you to take care of yourself, and we look forward to hearing from you in the near future, huh?
Bless, sir.
All right, bless.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You are watching Scratch TV channel on YouTube.com.